All right, so what's happening, Big Headed family? It's your boy Big Gotti. I hope everybody having a blessed day out there. Now, if y'all new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I drop. Now, today's episode, so we actually got Southwest T's lawyer basically speaking on Big Meech and how he's not a snitch. Basically, he got a time reduction, and that's the way he got off of his case. A lot of people say he snitched, but I guess not. So we're going to get a bar of this, and y'all let me know what y'all think about the content in the comment section. Let's run it.
Well, back to you did represent Southwest T.
I represented Terry Flannery.
Okay.
I met him before he was charged, and somebody introduced me to him, and we got to be friendly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he wanted, he didn't have a case.
Yeah.
Somebody just thought it was a good idea for him to meet me, and we sat in the car actually, and shot the shit for 20 minutes, and then we became friendly. And then, of course, the indictment came, and when the indictment came, T had never had a case before in his life.
Hey, the best thing about it, though, is when you meet a lawyer and you ain't got a case and they be on your side, when you get a case, then they going to fight for you in court, you know what I'm saying, because you already got a bond with them. It be them lawyers that you just get and they don't want to help you out because they barely know you, you feel me? But if you know them, it's going to be a better situation for you, or better outcome, as I should say.
Life. He had never spent an evening even in jail. When the indictment came, both of them were on the indictment, even though Demetrius was in Atlanta, and there was no bond. In federal court, you either have a bond or you have no bond. It's not like in state court, 10,000, 10% or anything like that. And as time went on, we weren't seeing eye to eye on the case, so I told T I was going to get off the case because I had some ideas of what he should do.
Okay.
And he was listening to some people inside maybe or whatever. So I got off the case. The long and the short of it was, they both eventually pled guilty, and they were sentenced to 360 months each, which is 30 years by my Mumford High School arithmetic. And then, and I didn't participate in that. I was done with the case by then. I certainly think we could have done better if I'd have stayed on the case.
Yeah. Wow. Better than 360 months.
360 months is a lot. Well, because...
Real, hey, 360 months ain't no deal. So he probably could have did a little better. I'm not saying he could have, but, at that time, they was going through a lot of things, and they was feeling like they finna get the rest of their life in prison, so they might as well just take that 30 years. You feel me?
You got to remember, because of the BMF thing. See, I never even heard about that.
Yeah.
Terry he never talked like that.
Oh,
he was just another guy I knew that was involved, obviously, in something, because that's why he wanted to meet me. But he wasn't out boasting and putting billboards up and all that kind of crap. So when it came out, I was kind of learning the same as everybody else was.
So he didn't really discuss the Black Mafia family.
I never heard the phrase Black Mafia family ever. It wasn't like Pony Down or YBI. I never heard that phrase. Yeah. He was just Terry Flannery. He was just a guy from Southwest. The one part of the city I never was around was Southwest Detroit, and I was fascinated just by where the streets were, to tell you the truth. So, and he was a regular guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. He's just a regular guy. And whether he was involved, I assumed he was involved in something, because why else would he want to meet me? Yeah. But there was no BMF and all this kind of crap. So he gets the time. And, I read it in the newspaper, or somebody told me about it. And then, this was back in the mid-2000s, maybe, something like that, I think, when it happened.
Yeah,
and
2005.
Then he contacted me. I remember he did, or somebody on his behalf, and it was in 2017. What happened was, and this is important for your audience to understand, this had nothing to do with anybody talking or snitching or doing anything at all other than doing their time. The law changed, and they had a new section of the law that changed the way the guidelines were computed.
Who changed this law here?
The government changed it. This had nothing to do with anybody in the street.
You know what's crazy, though? I heard about this. It was like laws changing in that case or something, and they was about to get a time reduction. But a lot of people said that they was telling, so it kind of like overshadowed this. But let's go.
Anybody talking. The law changed, and Terry contacted me. I can't remember if he himself or somebody contacted me. And he didn't have 10 cents. It wasn't like he came and said, I've got 30,000 for you if you can do this. But I always liked the guy. He was just a good guy.
Wow.
Can I help him? I said, I think I can help you.
Ooh, wow.
So I looked it up, and looking up, he got 360 months because of the way the sentencing guidelines were before the law changed. And when the law changed, the guidelines would have been reduced to 292 months. That's a 68-month reduction because of the change in the law. I contacted the prosecutor on the case, and I told her that Terry had contacted me, and I think the law is pretty clear, and she agreed. And that was on like the third day, and we submitted something to Judge Cohn, who was still the judge back in those days, and he signed the sentencing reduction, and it's in the file. If anybody, all these people think they can go look at federal files, you can see the order back in 2017 reducing T's sentence from 360 to 292. So he got 68 months over almost 6 years off his back.
See, that's the power of making relationships, though. If Southwest T didn't really know him like that, he wouldn't have did nothing like that. Like he said, Southwest T didn't have no money, but he was like, you know what, since I'm his friend, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to stand up for bruh and, you know, try to get his sentence reduced. That's some real nigga shit.
And then, when the pandemic came, he contacted me. I think he contacted me to say they had let him out because his health was bad.
And he doing this out of courtesy, because you like the guy.
I've never charged him 50 cents for anything since then. Yeah. So at the same time, his brother, I think, was hoping to get the same reduction.
Now, did Demetrius, did he take advantage of the new change in the law?
I'm going to tell you about it, but it didn't. Not in 2017.
Okay.
Somebody contacted me who said they were with him, and would I be willing to do it for him? And I said, well, I don't really know him, and you know, I knew what I was doing, and I knew who I was dealing with. The only thing I knew about Meech was, of course, all that BMF crap down south, which really brought the feds all over everybody. Wow. And I kind of was, well, I don't know him. It'd be kind of odd, and I don't want to take any money from him. So I said no. And then for some reason, instead of getting somebody else, I went and looked it up, knowing I was going to be talking with you. I don't think they signed. I don't think he got his sentence reduced for like another 3 or 4 or 5 years, even though the law was in place in 2017. But in any event, that's something that people should know because of all this talk back and forth. That is he a snitch? He's not any goddamn snitch. Wow. The law changed, and his sentence went from 360 to 292 as well.
Oh, okay. So a lot of people say that Tammy Cohen was the person that was, you know, helping him tell to get him out and basically snitching on his other plug. But I guess he's saying that the time got reduced because the laws changed. So that's why he out early. So anybody that's asking, you know what I'm saying, here go the answer.
And then, from what I understand, he was sent to the halfway house, which, you know, people have to understand, again, for those of you who are listening to this, when you get a federal sentence, unlike a state court sentence in Michigan, if you get a state court sentence, there's no good time, no halfway house, no nothing. If you get 2 years, you do 2 years, 24 months to the day, okay? That's not the feds. People need to understand that. In the feds, you get 54 days a year, good time, which is pretty much 2 months, okay? You can also go to the halfway house within 6 months of whenever your release date is. So when you get a long sentence like he had, 360 months, you're talking about 30 years times 2 months a year of good time. That's 5 years, that's 60 months off of it to begin with. Right. So now it's 292, and now it's 5 years off of that. Now it's 232, and he did all that time.
And that's what everybody's.
Hey, you know what's crazy though? I thought the feds would be the people that made you serve all your time, and the state made you, you know, get the little half times and the little good times and work times and stuff like that. So in Detroit, I guess it's different. It's kind of cold.
Saying that there's a 5-year window that hasn't been served. That's the whole chatter. Like
a 5-year window? What do you mean window?
When I say window, I mean like he has 5 more years to do that he's not doing.
He first thing, are they all geniuses? They understand the federal system?
That's why I came with you.
No, I'm saying these people who are talking.
Oh, they're like YouTubers, Steve. These guys just flip-flop. They got their own microphone.
So what I'm telling you is, before they start talking, maybe they should talk to somebody who knows something about the federal criminal justice system, so they don't say stupid things on YouTube or wherever it is that these young kids are at. Wow. But they're not such young kids, obviously, if they're talking about him. The long and the short of it is, everybody, there's nowadays, a lot of guys are coming home earlier, having nothing to do with snitching or telling on anybody, just because the system has now been set up that they're trying to get people through the system quick.
Okay, so we're going to stop this right here, man. So basically, he broke it down. OG was telling you, like, you know what I mean? It don't work like that, you know. Basically, he served all of his time. He got a sentencing reduction, you know, and that's how he got out early. A lot of people were saying, like, Tammy Cohen was the one that was helping him, and, you know, she was setting up his other plug. And Cuffy even says that he set him up. But I mean, 1090 Jake just did a video on him, and they couldn't find no evidence that had his name in it. So I don't know. It's like a gray area. But y'all let me know what y'all think about Big Meech. Y'all think he told or not? And obviously Southwest T didn't tell because he did all of his time. He just got the COVID thing, and he got out early from that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the content in the comment section. And until the next one, y'all stay safe out there, man.